Hi, it's Mobile Max. It's Monday, August 17th, 2026, and this is my opinion. What does it mean for a radical, progressive Democrat to take over a city, like Mondani just did in New York and his progressive policy? But there are examples of cities that have had progressive Democrats running it for many decades. I can tell you one thing: Los Angeles, where I live, has been taken over by progressive, and everything has gone to hell in a handbasket. They're incredibly prejudiced. They discriminate against white men. They take extreme actions like defunding the LAPD and getting rid of all the white officers, and same thing, LA County sheriffs. But that's not the city that I'm referring to. I'm referring to Oakland, California. Once a vibrant, successful city that has turned into a dump with massive crime. Oakland used to have 3 major league NFL, NBA teams. They used to have the that was 1984. Before the Raiders came to LA, they were the Oakland Raiders NFL team. They had the Oakland Raiders in the 70s. They had the Oakland Athletics, which I believe won the World Series in 72 and 73. They were a great team, the Athletics. And they also had the Golden State Warriors. But because they don't want to invest in infrastructure, progressives only care about the people, the poor people, and the poor people who have so many big rights. That's what the progressive Democrats care about. Taking care of the people. That doesn't mean everybody, it just means their people. The illegal aliens, or blacks, or poor people. They take care of them. Anyway, Oakland, California used to be vibrant and successful. The thing is San Francisco, which is right next door to Oakland, as you know, it's a hilly country. Large hills are in San Francisco, so you can't build a railroad when you have hills going up and down. But in Oakland, they have their own harbor too, the Oakland Harbor, Oakland Port. They could build a railroad, which they did, right up to the port in Oakland. So they had transportation, great transportation. They had the Oakland Port, and they had train tracks, train service all the way to their port. In World War II, millions of people transited from the Deep South to Oakland. Why? Because they had jobs. Kaiser, who used to own Kaiser Steel, also was a great capitalist and industrialist. Kaiser built a shipbuilding facility right near Oakland, and it needed tens of thousands of workers. So I think it was the figure 85,000 black people from the Deep South migrated to Oakland and became workers in all these defense industries. They also had an army base. Oakland Army Base was there. They had canneries, major canneries that canned fish and fruit. They were vibrant. But what happened? The Black Panthers, Oakland is the headquarters of the Black Panthers. I don't even know about the Black Panthers, but they arose in the late 60s. Very radical. Communists, believed in communism. And just like the progressive Democrats, the Black Panthers believed in taking care of the people. Now what I heard, I was growing up then, is pretty much the leaders of the Black Panthers, Huey Newton, Bobby Seale, Angela Davis, were all eventually eviscerated by law enforcement. So that's probably the reason well, before that actually, the Black Panthers, one of their main principles is to get rid of the cops. Originally, that's what they wanted to do, protect black people against the police and arm them with rifles and pistols and things of that matter. And but they also had other services, boy. They had childhood food services, free breakfast for children, medical services, child care services. That's where they arose from. All these NGOs here in Los Angeles, non-government organizations, have their root in this progressive Democrat governance. They don't care about investing in infrastructure. They don't care about acquiring companies to come to Oakland. They don't care about none of that. They only invest in people and pay themselves big money as they send huge checks over to these NGOs to provide housing for the people, checks to NGOs to take care of the drug addicts, checks to NGOs to feed the poor. Well, you've got the idea. Their NGOs are their vehicle for profit. Anyway, the point I'm making is, for many decades, Oakland, California has been run by the progressive Democrats. Oh, here's another thing about the Black Panthers. Unlike the Black Muslims, the Black Panthers would associate with other white people who were radicalized and communist and things of that nature. So they would associate them as long as they had the same thought pattern, the same view of the world. White people were included in this, but they were radical. And you heard about Patty Hearst getting kidnapped and the Symbionese Liberation Army robbing banks. We all thought that was snubbed out, including their leaders, Huey Newton and Bobby Seale and Angela Davis. Angela Davis was a professor at UCLA, but somehow she got mixed up in some kind of conspiracy where they found a pistol that was registered to her. Anyway, she flew to Texas, but they eventually got her. Anyway, that's another story. But we thought that the Black Panthers had been wiped out. They weren't. They just went inward. They become an underground organization helping mainly where they started from, Oakland. So Oakland became progressive Democrats long before anybody else became progressive Democrats. And they spent all their money on helping the people and helping themselves, naturally. Massive corruption, massive incompetence, been going on, and that's why Oakland is in the terrible shape it is in today, which is, even though it's expensive real estate because it's very close to Silicon Valley, and many rich people live near Silicon Valley, that probably is the only thing that keeps land values and home values high in Oakland, because they've got terrible crime. Many restaurants, drive-through restaurants and other assorted businesses have left Oakland because of the massive crimes and the massive bums and the terrible governance. That's what your city's going to look like, Oakland, California, if you vote for the progressive Democrats. And oh, by the way, the Black Panthers, my opinion, the Black Panthers morphed into Black Lives Matter and other black organizations who still think the same principles as they thought in the 70s. The police are terrible. We have to protect against the police and protect the convicts in the prisons. They got California to close 5 prisons. These are all principles of the Black Panther Party, which were stuffed down our throats during the pandemic. They had this idiot, weak, radical liberal district attorney, George Gascon. It was terrible, but it's still going on. The same crap is still going on. And all these goddamn, you know what about the progressive Democrats? They had a vote. It was about, like a few weeks ago. They had a vote in the House of Representatives, federal, and to defund Israel. And do you know that half the Democrats voted to defund Israel? Unbelievable. The hypocrisy of these people. They also support the Palestinians. Why would a progressive Democratic Party with women who believe they were being objectified by men and who attacked and got revenge on their abusers? So many were destroyed and went to prison, like Harvey Weinstein. Anyway, the point is that anybody who believes that women are equal to men, how could you support radical Islam Palestinians who believe women are part of the household, no more than slaves? In Palestinian culture, women, all they can do is get pregnant and take care of the kids and listen to their husband. Take the orders from their husband because they're part of the household. Like a pig or a goat or a farm, they're part of the household. And they're second-class citizens, probably more like slaves than anything else. How could a Democratic Party with these progressive views about women vote for the goddamn Palestinians who treat women like dogs? That's the thing about these progressive Democrats. They talk out the side of their face. They're incredible hypocrites. Huge hypocrites. They say one thing, don't do what I do what I say. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Bye.